Dear users of Reddit, was I wrong to take my name off the will after they used my legacy to buy a yacht?
At his father's funeral, my older brother announced he used part of my share to buy a luxury yacht, turning grief into public spectacle. Everyone gathered in the grand hall where family heirlooms were displayed. My siblings and I stood solemnly by the casket, each lost in our own thoughts. Suddenly, my older brother stepped forward and cleared his throat loudly. "I just wanted to take a moment," he began, his voice steady but strained. He looked directly at me before continuing, to acknowledge something that might surprise all of us. The room fell silent, everyone shifted uncomfortably. My heart pounded. What could he possibly want? He took out an envelope from his pocket and handed it to someone else on stage. "This," he said, gesturing towards the empty space, "is part of my father's legacy," but his eyes flicked between the rest of us. It also allowed me to do something pretty cool. A hush fell over the crowd as we waited for him to explain further. "You see, Dad always talked about how important our family history is, so I thought, why not celebrate it? And guess what?" He paused dramatically, a grin spreading across his face. "I bought a luxury yacht, to keep up with the Joneses maybe, or just because I can." Two guests nearby whispered to each other, shaking their heads slightly. My best friend squeezed my hand tightly, her fingers digging into mine. My younger sister rolled her eyes, clearly annoyed. My brother shrugged afterward, like buying a boat was nothing special. "And now," he concluded, looking straight at me again, "we're all going boating next weekend. Isn't that exciting?" Everyone laughed awkwardly except for me. The receipt for the yacht purchase lay unopened on the table behind him, untouched. It was clear he hadn't even considered the impact on those who didn't get much. People started whispering among themselves, what should be private grief turned public spectacle. "Can't you understand, sis?" my brother pressed, stepping closer. "We are supposed to have fun, remember? This isn't about money, it's about celebrating together." But I couldn't shake off the feeling that this was more than just celebration. I felt violated, as if my personal loss became fodder for a status update. The social pressure was intense, yet somehow familiar. "Why did you do this here, brother?" I asked quietly. "Couldn't you talk to me privately first?" He met my gaze, then glanced away. "Everyone needed to know, we are one big happy family after all." I stared back, knowing there would never be forgiveness until he acknowledged the real issue, using my inheritance without consent or respect. "No matter where you go or what you buy, this isn't about keeping up appearances. It's about respecting everyone involved," I replied firmly. The tension in the hall grew palpable. My mother cleared her throat softly, drawing attention. She looked directly at my brother before addressing the group. "While I appreciate your enthusiasm, let's try to focus on honoring our father's memory today. Perhaps we could discuss such matters later, when everyone has had time to grieve properly." My brother shifted uncomfortably under the weight of the room's collective disapproval. "Of course, Mom," he mumbled, glancing around nervously. "Let's save these celebrations for another day." As people began to file out, whispers followed them, and the air seemed thick with unspoken judgments. My wife, standing beside me, placed a reassuring hand on my arm. "He really doesn't see how wrong it is, does he?" she murmured. I shook my head, unable to speak. "That is why I cannot treat it like one awkward joke." Afterward, while packing up the car, my mom stopped by. "I heard about the yacht," she said, her voice soft but firm. "It's not right, honey," her words strung, reminding me of the deep betrayal still fresh from his lips. The incident wasn't over, it left an indelible mark on our relationship. Months passed, and every time I saw the nameplate on the yacht club membership card, a wave of anger washed over me. The receipt was tucked inside a drawer, serving as a constant reminder of his insensitivity. His excuse was simple: would you forgive him, or would you say this went too far?